Hi everyone, welcome to today's writing lesson. This is going to be a short one. Now, before you do this, make sure you watched the last video where I asked you to think of a topic that you know a lot about and then think of some subtopics. And remember, I told you to write all of that down in your memo book, your little handy dandy notebook, because today we are going to learn about writing a table of contents. The table of contents, as you know, is important because somebody can pick up your book and they can get a feel for how it's going to go and see how everything's going to click together. They can give your book a sneak peek. So let's look at how we can make a table of contents. It's actually not that difficult if you've already completed step one. So I created a sample here on kites. And the table of contents says introduction to kites, where to fly kites, types of kites, and good kite flying weather. So we've already done this part. Think about something you know how to do and teach us how to do it in your own book. Okay? So I just used kites as my example, but you're going to choose whatever you think you know how to do very well or something that you're very knowledgeable about. So what you need to do next, okay, so this is very important, and you need to have completed the first part. Think of a subject that you can teach us about, right? We've already done this, hopefully. And then create a table of contents. And remember, you need those subtopics. Think of lingo you might need. Oh, and that should be a number 3. Okay, and then if you're wondering what your page should look like, I'm going to show you an example. Now you don't have to do this on pretty paper yet, but you can see I've got the title at the top, table of contents, and here come my subtopics. Okay, I'm numbering them. You don't have to do it, but it's a good idea to do it. Okay, and then you would just write each of your topics there. And you don't have to have only 4. You could have 6. You could have 9. Here's another example. My first part is introduction to hockey. My second part is how to play. Third is controlling the puck. And fourth is the equipment. Okay? So I've shown you a couple examples here of tables of contents. And here's a bigger one. If I had written a book on soccer versus basketball, comparing two things that I know a lot about, that's fine. Okay, and you can see I meant talk about basketball in number 2, soccer in part 3, how they're similar, how they're different. And we've seen tables of contents in lots of the books we've seen already. And sometimes they're even used in fiction books. Okay, so start thinking about the lingo, start thinking about the words that you're going to use. Okay, create your table of contents, do it in your composition notebook. That's really important. Okay, so boys and girls, don't forget you're still finishing your experiment and your own lab report that's separate from this. And in your little memo book, you've got your idea for what you're going to write about, your subtopics, and now in your composition notebook, you should be working on your table of contents. You're not doing anything else aside from that. Okay, that's it for now. Happy writing. The end.